Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Push with Nick and KP. We are back once again to bring you a weekly recap, this time of NXT, which took place on May 26th. Our opening contest of the evening has our women's speed champion Ren Sinclair, accompanied by Kendall Gray, going one-on-one with Kalani Jordan. Kalani attacks first before the bell even rings, a bit of foreshadowing as if it wasn't obvious enough already. That heavily taped bandage on Ren's knee was very heavily focused on throughout the entire match by the opportunist that is Kalani. Throughout this one, and even a factor in the finish, of course, as Kalani gets Ren to tap out. You have to wonder why Ren thought this was a good idea considering the state of her knee and how this injury will affect her in weeks to come. All that being said, this is a fun contest, and Ren and Kalani clearly have some good chemistry. Definitely one of Ren's best performances to date as well, I would say. Our first segment of the evening has Dark State addressing the deletion of Saquon Sugars from the Dark State, saying that Saquon was the weak link of the group and the only non D1 athlete. Dark State then says now that they are without the dead weight, they're back and more dangerous than ever. Listen, I don't get to do NXT very often, but if you're a consistent listener, you do know that I'm a huge fan of Dark State, but Saquon has always been my favorite. So here's to hoping that this is the start of a very successful singles run for Sugars and also kind of a nice reset button for Dark State, which I've stated in the past, has felt like they have lost a bit of their what was once the hottest tag team or faction in NXT. So hopefully this kind of does wonders for both. Also like the crossed out image of Dark State Tron. That's a nice touch as well. The next match of the evening is a men's speed championship tournament match between Sean Legacy and Dorian Van Dukes, or DVD as Vic calls him, but much easier. This is a pretty standard match that actually ends in a draw, unfortunately, which now means that the match between Moreno and Frazier later on tonight will determine who will face Lexis King for the Speed Championship. After the match, DVD and Legacy show their respect for one another. Our next match of the evening has Jada Parker going one-on-one with Layla Diggs, being accompanied by Natty. While Diggs showed some potential in this match, it was quite brief, and Miss Parker wasn't taking any prisoners this evening, continuing kind of hot streak that she's on. And the NXT universe showed nothing but love for Miss Parker during this entire match. Enough is enough as far as I'm concerned. We need to get a title on Jada very soon. The next segment of the evening has our NXT champion Tony D'Angelo calling out a true threat in Naraku. Naraku says he's simply helping protect the champion, and that's all he's doing. Tony D is a bit hesitant to believe into this, but Naraku says he's just waiting until they go to war, and until then, nothing but good intentions here. Then comes out Cam Hendricks ahead of their title match next week to talk some smack, and also tries to attack Tony D, but is cut off by Naraku. This is obviously noticed by Tony D, so maybe realizing he's not completely full of him. The next match of the evening is the final match in the men's speed championship tournament match between Nathan Frazier with Axiom and Romero Moreno with Noam Dar. These two waste zero time and are clearly built for this style of matchup, and we are able to reap the benefits of it. An absolute nail biter. Romero gets the win here with almost no time left on the clock. I believe there were 2 seconds, very, very close. And now gets a shot at Lexis King's Speed Championship next week on NXT. So looking forward to that match. It should be a good one as well. The next match of the evening has Shiloh Hill going up against Charlie Dempsey, being accompanied by Birthright. A decent enough match here with a bit of a surprise win from Shiloh, although I do hesitate to use the word surprise here because Shiloh is clearly a very prominent and figure going forward, both in and outside of the ring. He has been featured quite a bit on NXT, so I guess I really shouldn't be that much of a surprise considering, this is Charlie Dempsey's first match back in a while. So make of that what you will. Shiloh clearly, excelling in both in ring and out of ring, and also going to become the next Mr. NXT. Speaking of, we do see Tristan Angels come out and announce a Mr. NXT pageant in 2 weeks against him and Shiloh Hill. So if you're into that sort of thing, something to look forward to there. Our next match of the evening in our main event of NXT sees Izzy Dane with the calling, challenging Lola Vice for her NXT Women's Championship. As you might expect, Izzy's support here gets taken out by OTM after they canceled the match earlier between these two teams after Spears' ambush. Izzy accidentally takes out the referee. This gives Dane enough time to kick out of Lola's back fist. Izzy then throws the title at Lola, lands a big boot, but it's still not enough for the win. After this, Lola lands another back fist to get the win and is still your NXT Women's Championship. A good enough match here, although I will say a little heavily booked and obvious with the ambush earlier on OTM. A good enough match though, but I would say Ren and Kalani and Fraser and Moreno's matches were better, but still a decent enough main event. But with that, overall, a solid NXT here, and featuring consistent wrestling matches, along with continuing to set up who could be the next challenger or challengers to both Tony and Lola's titles. For me, it gives us a solid 7. A quality episode of NXT. But enough from us over here at The Push. What did you make of this episode of NXT? Please let us know in the comments below. And as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. If you like this video and or like what we're doing over here, we would love to hear from you. But until next time, this has been The Push with Nick and KP. We'll see you soon. Take care.